Namaste. Welcome to our Flow and Restore yoga practice. My name is Michelle Chua, and for this practice, you'll want to have quite a few props, a couple of blocks, a strap, a blanket, and a bolster, any additional props that you may have around, just so you have more options, especially during the second half of yin and restorative practice. We're going to continue this week's focus physically of opening the hips, bringing the thighs into external rotation and abduction. So let's start in some way of turning out the thighs as you come to sit that is gentle for you. So if you find that there's tightness in the fronts of your hips, you may want to prop your pelvis up on any of your props, sitting towards the front edge so that you can tilt the pelvis slightly forward and allow your knees to drop more easily. If you tend to cross one shin in front of the other, I invite you to change it up. Place the opposite shin in front so that the other hip can get a little more opening. All right, please take a moment to settle in to stillness. The fall season of seeing trees shed leaves reminds me of the yogic practice called aparigraha, which is a Sanskrit word that can be translated as non-possessiveness, non-attachment, non-gripping. I like to define it as letting life flow. I invite you to take a moment of reflection, observing any areas in your life in which you feel like you are allowing life to flow. You are able to flow with change and adaptable to different circumstances. Maybe it's in a particular relationship with a loved one. Maybe it's in your work situation where you're given tasks and then those tasks are changed and you need to reroute yourself. How resistant are you to adapting to change, especially when change is unexpected? Do you tend to cling to something from the past just because it's more familiar? Now, these are human tendencies. And so I invite you to just take a moment to pause in silence and notice if and we can feel the energy of clinging. Personally, I can feel the energy of clinging as heaviness, as anxiety, maybe a closed chest, a closed throat, this contraction in the mind, in the body, or even the breath. The breath is not full and sustained and easeful. So we can feel the physical symptoms of clinging in whatever area that we might be clinging in. Can you notice the physical symptoms of letting go, of acceptance, of trust that you are able to adapt as change arises unexpectedly? For me, the difference physically is very tangible. There's a relaxedness in the body. I feel more at ease where the shoulders can soften down. The breath feels more fluid and effortless. And there's a lightness both at my heart and at the mind. It's interesting how our body tells the story of our mind. Anything that we are stuck on mentally shows up in our physical body, which is wonderful, I think, because if we're not listening to the habits in the mind, we can pay attention to the body and notice, oh, it's telling us something to look at. What is your body telling you? Do you notice patterns? All right, let's bring that awareness into our practice. Our meditation in the end will be a deep relaxation meditation of really creating the tangible feeling of aparigraha, this acceptance and letting go, letting life flow. Let's take a moment now to observe and accept what you're feeling in the different layers of your being, starting by observing your physical body. What do you notice in your body right now? Is there tightness anywhere? Where does your body feel very strong today or very open? What other qualities can you sense in your body right now? Observe the quality of your breathing without controlling or changing how you're breathing. Does your breath feel smooth or shallow and choppy? What else can you notice about your breathing? And what is that telling you about your energy right at this moment? Now bring your awareness to your mental state, your emotional state. Does your mind feel calm and settled? Is your attention busy, thinking of things that are not in this present moment? Without judging yourself, just notice. What emotions might you be processing? Are there any emotions you're resisting or tucking away like you're sweeping under the carpet? It's really important to bring compassion as we're observing ourselves, because the point is not to judge or criticize ourselves, but quite the contrary, it's to love ourselves with better awareness, to really know ourselves, to befriend ourselves. Now let's start to deepen the breath. Filling up through the nose, notice where you can feel the breath move in your body. And exhaling through the mouth, beginning to lengthen the breath both in and out, just a little longer each new breath. How does it feel to put the intention of taking your time to breathe? No rush. I invite you to continue slowing down your breathing as you think about something today that you feel gratitude for. Letting that energy help to open your heart and your mind. And now I invite you to clarify your intention for this practice, or your personal prayer, what you're choosing to focus your attention and thus your energy on strengthening or expanding in your experience. Maybe also affecting how you show up for others. And in remembering that our yoga practice is not only for our personal benefit, it's for the benefit of those around us that we ultimately affect through our energy, our presence. So I invite you to think of somebody besides yourself that you might dedicate today's practice to, a way of supporting somebody else's peace and well-being. And together, let's join our voices, opening the practice, supporting each other as we connect with Mother Earth, chanting the vibrational sound at her very center, Om, 3 times. Let in a deep breath. Slowing down the breath, let's begin a practice that supports bringing calm and focus to our whole being as we balance our energy. It's called Ujjayi Pranayama, which means victorious breath. It's one of the yogic tools or pranayamas, and it's done by closing your mouth, breathing just through your nose, while creating a very soft whispering sound by gently constricting the back of your throat. See if you can try it now. And as you listen to the sound of your breathing, smoothen it out and sustain it equally in and out, bringing a steady, easeful quality to the breath. Setting the tone for how your body will enter the practice. Now see if you can sustain the rhythm you're creating in your breathing now, and we're going to move to that rhythm. Please softly blink your eyes open if they're closed, and gently lift yourself up to stand at the very top of your mat. Separate your feet at least hips distance apart and parallel to each other. Spreading your toes root down firmly through the 4 corners of each foot. Stand tall in mountain pose. Join your palms in prayer at your heart center to bring the energy of your intention into how you're going to move your body as we offer gratitude to the sun through sun salutations, starting with Surya Namaskar C. So listen to this breath out. And on the breath in, sweep your arms forward and overhead, rolling your shoulders behind you and down, tilt your chest up. Then as you exhale, you might bend the knees if you feel tightness in the back, folding over your legs. Plant your fingertips on the ground. Inhale, step the left knee behind you, kneeling lunge, look up. While holding your breath, step into plank pose. As you exhale, lower your knees, then chest, then chin in Ashtangasana. Inhale, slither forward, rolling your shoulders back and down into Cobra. Exhale, press up and lift your hips back into downward facing dog. Inhale as you step the left foot forward beside the left thumb, lowering the right knee, gaze up. Exhale as you step the right foot forward and bow. Pressing down to your feet, inhale, sweep your arms forward, rising to stand with a gentle back bend in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, join your palms to meet at your heart center. Second side, inhale, sweep your arms forward and gently tilt your heart up towards the sun, offering gratitude. As you breathe out, bow in towards the earth. Plant your fingertips on the ground. Inhale, step your right knee back. Kneeling lunge, look up. While holding your breath, step into plank. As you exhale, lower your knees, then chest, then chin. Inhale, slither forward, sliding your shoulder blades down your back, open your chest. Exhale, lifting your hips back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, step your right foot beside your right thumb, lower your left knee and look up. Exhale your left foot forward and fold. Pressing down to your feet, inhale, rise. Rolling your shoulders back, lift your heart. Exhale, join your palms at your heart center. Moving on to half of Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead again in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bow over your legs in Uttanasana. This time, press your hands on two blocks, your shins or the ground. Inhale as you stretch your spine forward into half forward fold. Hold the breath as you step to plank pose. And as you firm in the belly, exhale, glide forward, graze your elbows by your ribs, and lower through Chaturanga into Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Now from here, press down with your fingers spread. Inhale, sweep your right leg behind you. As you exhale, bend your right knee and externally rotate your right thigh at the hip. Turn it out. Stay there as you inhale, tack your left outer hip back. Then exhale, bend your right knee high towards your nose, rounding forward in plank. Quietly as you can, set your right foot beside your right thumb and stay on the ball of your left foot. Inhale to rise in crescent lunge. Now turn to your left and exhale into warrior two, aligning the right heel to the arch of the left foot. Let's flow in and out of it as you inhale, straighten the legs, raise the arms. Track your right knee as you exhale, bending it to stack just above the right heel, back to warrior two. Twice more. Inhale, straighten and rise. Exhale, bend, warrior two. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Now from here, staying in warrior two, let your eyes relax on one spot just in front of your right hand. Feel the external rotation of your right thigh bone at the hip, allowing you to splay your right knee open towards your right pinky toe. While you firm the top of your left thigh bone back, root down evenly through both feet. One more deep breath. Virabhadrasana 2. Keep the right knee bent and flip your right palm to face up. Inhale, side bend towards your rear wall. Peaceful warrior. Ride the wave of the exhalation from plank into your vinyasa of choice. Lowering knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhaling cobra or upward facing dog. Exhaling downward facing dog. Pause for one cycle of breath. Inhale, sweep your left leg behind you. Exhale, bend the knee and turn out the thigh at the hip. Stay there. Inhale, tack the right hip back. Then exhale, round into plank. See if you can touch your left knee to your nose. And then gently set the left foot beside the left thumb in a high lunge. Inhale, rise to crescent pose. Exhale, open to the right in warrior two, aligning heel to arch. Inhale, straighten the legs, raise your arms. Exhale, back to warrior two. Twice more. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, rise. Exhale, warrior two. Now settle in for 5 breaths. Steady your gaze. Feel the rotation of the left sitting bone under your body as you firm the top of your right thigh bone back. And listen to the quality of your breathing. Keep your left knee bent and flip the left palm to face up. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Ride the exhalation all the way down into a vinyasa or cat-cow a few times. Let's meet in downward facing dog. Pausing in downward dog for 2 breaths. Notice how your body is responding. Slow down and rebalance your breathing as you observe your mind. When you've emptied this breath, walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat into a forward fold. Then inhale, press with your hands and lengthen the crown of your head forward into Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale again, fold. Press with your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up towards the sun, coiling your chest up. Exhale, recenter your palms at the heart. Now let's move into Sun Salutation B, flowing with a breath. With your feet touching, inhale, bend your knees to touch. Lean back towards your heels in chair pose, Utkatasana. As you exhale, shift your weight forward and hinge from your hips, Uttanasana. Press with your hands and inhale, lengthen to Ardha Uttanasana. Step or float to Chaturanga, lower to your version of Vinyasa. When you arrive in downward facing dog, keep your hips leveled and inhale, raise your right leg back. Exhale, step the foot beside your right thumb and spin the left heel down. Inhale, rise to Warrior One. Then exhale, lower into your Vinyasa. Back to downward dog. Keep your hips leveled. Inhale, raise your left leg back. Exhale the foot beside your left thumb, spin the right heel down. Inhale, rise to Warrior One. Ride your exhale all the way down into your Vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Pause for 2 deep breaths, slowing down your breathing and observing yourself internally. Let's add a twist in downward dog. Step your feet wider than hips distance apart and walk your feet forward 3 to 5 inches closer to your hands. Lift your right hand and cross it over to your outer left calf or ankle. You could prop the left hand on a block if needed. Press your right heel down into the earth and tack the right hip back so you keep your hips leveled and twist at your waistline. Looking under your left armpit towards the sky, let your head completely fall. Set the right hand forward again and cross the left hand to the outer right calf or ankle. Press the left heel into the earth, draw the left hip back, and rotate your chest to the right, looking under the right armpit towards the sky. Then soften your jaw. Soften your neck and eyes. This time I'm going to invite you to walk your hands back towards your feet. From your hips, turn out both thighs and find a version of a squat that works for you. Now, if you're tight in the backs of your ankles, your Achilles tendon, you could place a folded blanket right underneath your heels, just like this. So you're elevating the heels, and that can bring some ease. You could sit on 2 blocks between your ankles. You could hover the pelvis off the ground if that feels fine. And let's use the arms or elbows to splay open the inner thighs as you let your pelvis sink down. Lift your heart, lift the back of the skull, and soften your shoulders back and down. A few deep breaths. Malasana. Now, some of you may want to play with an arm balance if you're very warm. There's an option to come into crow pose. Otherwise, you can stay longer in Malasana or Mita, sitting down with the knees bent, soles of the feet together in Baddha Konasana. Those of you going to crow, heel toe the inner edges of your feet together. Lift your heels and splay the thighs apart. Place your hands on the ground, a foot ahead of your feet, and parallel the arms like Chaturanga. Lift your hips high, bend the elbows back, And hug your knees on top of your outer upper arms. Look past your hands to shift forward, bringing the feet together as you might lift them both off the ground. Bakasana. There's an option to float your feet back into one more vinyasa, arriving in chaturanga to flow. And from here, let's meet in child's pose. Bring your feet together to touch. Sink your hips down to your heels. Separate the knees as wide apart as it's comfortable for you, and let your forehead rest towards the ground or on a prop. See how much you can surrender your body to the weight of gravity. And we're going to move into a slightly different breathing technique that invites more relaxation, yin energy of letting go. Definitely a practice of a parigraha, where we exhale slightly longer than we inhale. So I'm going to count to 5 as you breathe in and 7 as you breathe out. Let's prepare to start by emptying this breath. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5. Exhale 7. Try at least 3 more cycles on your own. And if you're comfortable with slowing it down even more, feel free. Each breath, can you create a more gentle quality to your breathing? Letting the breath become softer and softer, where it feels like less effort. Can you allow your body to follow suit with the breath accentuating letting go? With the exhales, invite your body to soften more easily. You could choose to continue exhaling slightly longer than you inhale, especially if you feel like you do need to practice more of letting go. Otherwise, you could breathe naturally. Let's crawl the fingertips back alongside your knees. As you drop the head, slowly roll your spine upright to sit, bringing the legs in front of you. Let's set up for double pigeon pose, going further into our external rotation of the thighs. Now, as you bring the legs in front of you, you might notice the background. If so, grab something to sit on, elevate your pelvis like you did in the beginning. And let's begin by placing the right shin on top of the left shin, flexing your feet in a way that you're pressing the mounds of your big toes out towards the side walls. And from your perspective, you're unable to see the soles of your feet. So you want to make sure you're not sickling the feet. We're flexing them to help stabilize the knees. If you find that your top thigh is lifting a distance away from the bottom, place your folded blanket or any of your props that you can comfortably fill that gap with. Now, take a moment to root down firmly through your sitting bones, and you may want to have a block or two stacked in front of you so that as you fold over your legs, you can rest your forehead completely on something. And then allow a moment to press down through the hips, lift up through the entire spine and back of your skull. Let the shoulders relax down. Notice the space all around your neck. Try to maintain it. And as you breathe out, little by little, hinge forward from your hips. Each time you breathe in, pause, press the pelvis further down and stretch the spine a little more. We're going to be in this side of this hip opener for 3 minutes before we switch sides. So you've got a lot of time to settle in and to adjust your props so that you can completely surrender your body to gravity. Yin and restorative yoga are a very physical practice of letting go of a parigraha. And as we're here for a while, I invite you to observe where your attention goes. What are the habits of your mind? Allow for one more slow exhalation. And then take your time lifting your torso slowly, stretching your legs out in front of you, and just pausing as you sit tall, maybe closing the eyes and tuning inward for a few breaths. Be gentle as you begin to switch sides, turning out the left thigh, cross the shin over the right shin, flexing both feet in a way that you're pressing the mounds of your big toes out to the side walls. Now in double pigeon, if you're able, stack your knees and your ankles. So your shins are like fire logs on top of each other. Remember, you could place a filler prop underneath your left thigh if you need from down to your sitting bones, and breathe in as you lengthen up through each vertebra of your spine, up through the crown of your head. Let the shoulders relax down. Keep your neck long, and exhale, begin to hinge forward from the hips. Pausing with each inhalation to firm down the hips and stretch the spine a little longer. Adjust your props as you might need on this side. One hip might need more support than the other. Let your entire body feel supported where you're not trying to hold yourself up. You're just letting go into the support of the props. And we'll be here for another 3 minutes. Notice what you notice in the physical sensations and felt sense of your body. Take your time to release one more slow exhalation before gently lifting your body upright to sit again. Stretch your legs out in front of you and let's pause for a few breaths. What do you observe about yourself? Now, before we lie down, as we're going to spend the rest of our time lying down, I'm going to invite you into one more breathing technique to just bring a bit more relaxation as well as introspection to prepare us for soon Shavasana and guided meditation. And so please find a comfortable way that you can sit tall, feel grounded and relaxed, and breathe well. invite you into a practice of Nodi Shodhana Pranayama, alternate nostril breathing. It also helps to balance the left and right hemispheres of the brain, in turn balancing your feminine and masculine energies that we all have, both. And so find a way to sit where your shoulders are relaxed, your rib cage is open, and breath can flow freely. Rest your left hand on your lap. You might place it in a mudra, such as Gyan Mudra, to support inward focus. And Gyan Mudra is where you place the palm face up and the thumb and first fingers touch gently. The right palm, place in Vishnu Mudra. Please stick out the thumb, pinky, and ring fingers. And as you close the mouth, we'll continue breathing just through the nose, but very, very gently, very soft and sustained, not trying to create a sound. The right thumb we'll use to close the right nostril like this. The right ring and pinky fingers we'll use to close the left nostril like this. Alternate nostril breathing. Let's practice 3 cycles together and continue 3 cycles on your own before letting go of controlling the breath. And then we'll sit for a few moments and just observe the effects of practicing that. All right, prepare to start. You might close your eyes while we're doing this practice and direct your inner gaze to steady towards your third eye center, towards the center of your brain, which awakens your intuitive energy. Prepare to begin by emptying this breath. Right thumb close, right nostril. Inhale left for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 2, 1. Close left. Exhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 2, 1. Inhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Close right. Exhale left. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Second cycle. Inhale left. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Close left. Exhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Inhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Close right. Exhale left. 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Third cycle. Inhale left for 6. Hold 2. Close left. Exhale right. 6. Hold 2. Inhale right. 6. Hold 2. Close right. Exhale left. 6. Hold 2. On your own, please continue 3 more cycles. When you've finished your third cycle, let go of controlling the breath. Observe anything you feel while breathing naturally. As you continue to breathe naturally and study yourself, svadhyaya, I invite you to find your strap and lower down onto your back. Lying on your back, bend your right knee into your chest. Step the ball of your right foot into the strap. Flexing your right foot, kick against the strap and straighten the leg up towards the sky. If the back of your right thigh or hamstring feels tight, you could bend your left knee to lessen the tightness. But try to keep your right leg straight without locking the knee. Now hold the strap in only your right hand, pressing the left hand, if your left leg is straight, on the very top of your left thigh to keep the back of your left hip grounded. From your right hip socket, externally rotate your right thigh bone so that your right knee and toes begin to face towards your right wall. Keep your head and shoulders relaxed and slowly begin to open or abduct your right leg over to the right, while tacking the crease on your outer right hip forward to lengthen the right side of your torso. Now, if you have props, you could rest that leg on as long as the back of the left hip stays grounded. Otherwise, you can continue holding the strap. This is more of a yin posture, not so much restorative. We're here for about just another minute. And this posture is called supine hand to big toe pose. So you could actually clasp your big toe with your right peace fingers if that's reachable instead of using the strap. In Sanskrit, this posture is called Supta Uttitahasta Parangushtasana. And then start to lift the right leg up, removing the strap. Slide your right leg to the floor or step the foot on the ground, keeping the right knee bent. And just pause. Take a moment to feel into that right hip. Notice any way that your hips are communicating to you right now. Gently bend your left knee. Step the left foot into the strap. Flex your left foot while kicking it into the strap. Extend the left leg up. You could bend the right knee if you feel that your left hamstring is resisting. Hold the strap in your left hand, relaxing both shoulders on the floor. Press your right hand. If your right leg is straight, press the right hand on the top of your right thigh to keep the back of your right hip on the ground. Begin by externally rotating the left thigh at the hip. So keep it where it is and just rotate the leg. Now abduct the leg, which means start to move it over to the left side. If you can clasp your big toe while still relaxing your shoulders, you don't need a strap. While doing this, draw your left outer hip forward so as to lengthen the left side of your torso rather than shortening it. And we're here for just another minute. Slowly lift your left leg back to center and lower both legs into corpse pose. Just take a moment to pause. All right, so we're actually going to have our guided deep relaxation practice, which is going to be part of our meditation before we completely rest in Shavasana, because I'm going to invite you to lie down for the meditation. Take a moment to adjust your body in any way. If you need support for your lower back, you could place a pillow under the backs of your knees. If you need support to feel more grounded, you could place the weight of a folded blanket over your pelvis and lower belly. Take a moment to adjust your head and allow your body to feel as symmetrical as possible along the left and right sides. You might splay out your feet so they're slightly wider than hips distance, and let the palms face the sky as you drop the shoulders back and lengthen your neck. And you might even cover your eyes with an eye pillow if you have one while closing the eyes. All right, take a moment to see if there's any last adjustment that your body needs so that you can eventually welcome stillness in a moment. And then I invite you into just allowing a deep breath to fill your whole body. Just imagine that while you contract as many muscles in your body as you can contract, even your facial muscles. Hold the breath in as you're contracting the muscles in your body. Belly, glutes, hands, feet, face. And then with a big sigh, open the mouth and completely uncontract. Relax your entire body. We're going to do that twice more. Again, inhale fully. Imagine breathing into your whole body. Contract everything you can. Squeeze in, tighten up. Hold the breath for a few seconds as you tighten up. And then when you're ready to open the mouth and sigh it out even longer and completely soften all the muscles in your body. Okay, last time like that. Do it at your own pace. A deep inhale, holding the breath as you contract everything. When you're ready, an even longer sigh through the mouth as you completely let go of contracting. Let go of gripping, let go of clinging. Feel the difference. Between the energy of holding on tightly and the energy of loosening your grip and accepting and relaxing. And that's what this meditation is going to be focused on. Aparigraha in mind, body, and energy. As you let your eyelids, like a blanket, cover your eyeballs, start to feel the very subtle weight of your eyeballs sinking in their sockets, inviting the muscles behind your eyeballs to soften and relax. Imagine the concept of throwing a pebble into a pond. You start to see ripples widening in concentric circles around that pebble. Imagine your eyeballs like pebbles you've just dropped into the pond of your entire body. Imagine ripples of concentric circles with the energy of relaxation spreading from your eyes, and part by part, as I mention them, will bring the energy of softening, accepting, and letting go. Start to bring your awareness to your forehead. Notice if there's any tension there. Can you smoothen out the skin on your forehead and allow your scalp to relax? Let this energy travel down like a warm liquid lava, soothing down to behind your ears, tracing your jawline, inviting a feeling of unclenching. Can you allow your tongue to become as light as possible? Feel your throat. Very easily welcome the flow of natural breath, like a very light stream flowing into and out of the nostrils, through the throat and into the lungs. Just observing the breath without controlling it. Feel the sense of effortlessness. Notice the way that your body so intelligently and naturally receives each breath and releases each breath. I invite you to spend a few moments just observing that, landing your inner gaze at one point in your body where you can just rest your attention on the feeling of the breath being received and released. Maybe that point is at your heart center. Maybe it's at your belly. As you feel the exhalations, I invite you to see them as messages to let go. Breathing out as a message from your body to your mind to let go. Whatever letting go means for you at this moment. Allow your mind to experience the tangible feeling of acceptance and freedom from letting go. Start to swim your attention down to your belly, feeling the weight of your pelvis settling towards the earth. Sensing your arms completely relaxed so that the bones in your arms are just heavy. Feel your palms and the energy centers at your hands. Let your hands soften. Feel the energy in your hands of not having to clench, grip, the opposite of making a fist. And let that energy of Release, continue down your legs, all the way down to your ankles, all the way down to the bottoms of your feet, where you also have energy centers at the bottoms of your feet. Let your mind's eye journey through each toe on each foot, just inviting a softening, letting all the bones of your feet become heavier and heavier, submitting to the weight of gravity. Can you feel the bottoms of your feet breathing? We'll be here for just a few more minutes, entering Shavasana. As your eyes remain closed, notice how your body is feeling right now. I very gently invite you to listen to how your body wants to start waking up, easing into small movements, simple stretches. Gradually turning over onto your right side and resting your head. As you lie on your side, spend a few moments observing your breathing and noticing how your energy feels right now. Do you feel any difference from the beginning of this practice? As you're ready, begin to lift your body up into a comfortable way to sit tall, grounded, and relaxed. You might join your palms in prayer mudra at the heart, pausing a moment to observe how your mind and heart feel as an effect of your practice. And maybe taking a moment to offer gratitude to anyone throughout your yoga journey, not just today, but throughout your journey of practicing yoga, your journey of evolution, physically, spiritually, all the ways you've been open to it through your practice. Offering gratitude to anyone who has supported you in that, including yourself. Remember your intention or personal prayer. And remember to whom you dedicated this practice. Together, let's join our voices, sharing the vibration we've co-created by singing out 3 ohms. Let in a deep breath. And bowing in towards your heart center, honoring the light within. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.